Hello and welcome to Tramagic. Thank you for 2000 subscriptions. In today's special video, I'm gonna rank my top 10 favorite tram types. Here we go. Number 10. Gota G4. The only articulated tram model built in the GDR. I still remember them from my childhood in Erfurt in the 1980s, before they were replaced by the Tatras. I especially liked their lovely old-fashioned interior, and I was always wondering, why does the tram driver need a steering wheel? The G4 is the only type on my list that is no longer in regular service anywhere today, but you can find them in the historic tram fleets of several East German cities. Number 9. Leoliner. Buying new trams is an expensive affair, so in the 2000s the Leipzig transport company decided to develop their own type. The Leoliner was born, and the idea was to also offer this relatively inexpensive and straightforward model to smaller cities and not so wealthy companies abroad. Unfortunately, they didn't have much success with this. Only an order for 5 cars came from Halberstadt. I think that's a shame, because to me the Leoliner is a successful combination of classic tram design and modern achievements. Number 8. Duvac MGT6D. While many of today's trams often fail to impress due to their clunky exterior and questionable design choices, this first-generation low-floor type is absolutely convincing down to the smallest detail. For me, they were the first low-floor trams I've ever seen when they appeared in Erfurt in the mid-1990s. And time flies so quickly, the first units are already to be replaced in the near future, and I hope they will find a new home somewhere else. Number 7. Duvac Stadtbahnwagen B. This type was developed in the early 1970s for the light rail projects in the Rhine-Ruhr area, and its design reflects the mixture of metro standard and street-level operation typical for these systems. Almost 500 units were built in several delivery series, and even today they are the most represented type in this area. I actually like these cars as much as the entire light rail systems for their diverse routes and structures with the flair of the 70s and 80s. Number 6. Konstal 105 NA. The most famous Polish tram car, which can be found in almost all cities with tram services. The exterior is somewhat reminiscent of the Tatra T6, but the 105 NA was actually designed much earlier. Special features are the large windows, which led to the nickname Aquarium, and the interesting double doors in the middle of the car. The driving characteristics are intense, especially when the drivers go fast on not so good tracks. It almost feels like riding a roller coaster. Probably the most fun you can have on a tram. Number 5. Duvac LHB TW 6000. Produced especially for Hanover, this type, with 260 units built, was the largest uniform light rail series in Germany. The construction was technically very innovative for its time, and I think the design looks timeless and still modern. Also, the green paint fits very well. Most of the series have since been transferred to Budapest, where they prove that they also cut a nice figure in orange. Number 4. Duvac MN Type. Another Duvac quality product and somehow the West German counterpart of the Tatra KT4D. A classic tram car in the angular style of the 70s and 80s. I got to know this type already as a child, when 2 cars from Essen were loaned to Erfurt for a year. I always tried to catch them and I was impressed by the high-quality interior and the driving comfort. Today, the numbers of these cars have declined drastically in most cities, so I definitely want to film them before it's too late. Number 3. Tatra T6A2. Based on a prototype from 1986, this was the Czechoslovak manufacturer's 6th development series intended to succeed the T3 and T4 concept with the front design of the KT4. A special feature was the newly developed thyristor control. Listen to this sound. Sadly, these trams were not granted a very long life here in Germany. They were retired in Berlin as early as 2007, and today only a few cars are still in operation in Magdeburg. Number 2. Tatra T3 and T4. With over 16,000 units built, these are some of the most produced tram cars in the world and widespread throughout almost the entire Eastern Bloc. The original T3 was 2.5 meters wide and could not be used in most cities of the GDR, so a narrower version was ordered, which then became the T4D. When I was young, these trams, with their iconic, rounded 1960s design, shaped the face of the largest cities here in East Germany, except Berlin. Now they have disappeared almost everywhere, but you can still find them in considerable numbers in Eastern Europe and especially in their wonderful hometown, Prague. Number 1. Tatra KT4. To me, the quintessential tram ever. When they appeared brand new in Erfurt, my interest in trams was sparked, and the fascination has continued to this day. The KT4, here the prototype from 1972, was primarily intended for smaller cities, but also made it to Berlin in large numbers. First in red and orange, after modernization in yellow paint, these trams were part of everyday life in the capital for many years, and they lasted much longer than planned. 1 year ago, the unavoidable happened and Tatra operation finally came to an end, which was a great loss. In several other cities, however, the KT4s are still running, often in extensively modified forms and with additional low-floor central sections. What else can I say about these lovely trams? They are fast and have a great sound. They improve every city. And, probably the most important thing, they've been reliably getting people to their destinations for almost half a century. Those were my personal favorites. Of course, only among the ones I already know. There's still a lot to discover in the future. Let me know which trams you like the most and see you in the next video.